Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Today, I want to share something very personal, my journey in understanding my Filipino identity and how it shapes the teacher I hope to become. So, growing up in the Philippines, I didn't always think deeply about what it truly means to be Filipino. I thought it was simply about where I live, diin ko nagpuyo, o the food I ate, or the language that I spoke. But as I matured, I realized that being Filipino is not just a label. It is a collection of values, memories, struggles, and strengths that continue to shape who I am today. So Filipino values that shaped me, one of the strongest values is that pagpapahalaga sa pamilya, love and respect for family. In our culture, family is not just important, it is the center of everything. My family taught me to be patient, resilience, and humility. They showed me that even when life becomes difficult, we do not face challenges alone. So, even though na ako'y problema, ako arang problema, but I'm still ang vocal to them. I spoke nga, ay, musulti ko sa ako ang problema nila. Kay para bito, like, ila kong ma-advisean ug unsay maayong buhaton. And another value is pakikipagkapwa-tao, treating others with dignity and compassion. This value taught me to understand people beyond myself, to show empathy, and to be kind even when no one is watching. So bisan pag walay nagtan-aw ni mga tao, kanang ni jud hapon ka nga kanaang magbinutan. You need to be kind all the time. And of course, there is bayanihan, the spirit of helping one another. It reminds me that progress is never done individually. It is built by communities, lifting each other up. So nindot jud kaayo nga we have unity sa Osaka community. These Filipino values guide the way I act, the way I treat others, and the way I dreamed about my future. So being Filipino for me means being strong, but soft-hearted, being able to smile through hardships. So bisan pagdaghan kag mga problema unsa pa nimong kaagi, remember to smile and finding joy even in a simple things. It means being creative, resourceful, and adaptable. Traits that we see in the everyday lives of ordinary Filipinos. But being Filipino also means recognizing our history, our struggles, and our hopes as a nation. We are shaped by our past, but we are not limited by it. We continue to grow, to learn, and push forward. I realized that my identity is not something I simply inherit. Dili ni siya kanang gimana nako. It is something that I practice every day. Ako ni ginabuhat taga-adlaw. In my choices, in my relationships, and soon in my profession. A cultural symbol that reflects my identity is the salawikain that truly speaks to me is ang hindi marunong lumingon sa pinanggalingan, hindi makakarating sa paroroonan. Diba? Kung ano siya, ang famous nga kung ano siya. So, he who does not look back at where he came from will not reach his destination sa in English pa. So, dili ka mutanaw sa imuhang past, dili ka makaabot sa imuhang destination, dili ka makaabot sa imuhang kanaang na-achieve, di ba? If wala ka nagikan sa imuhang sa imong past, di ba? So this reflects my identity because it reminds me that no matter how far I go, I must always remember my roots, ug asa ko nagikan. My family, my community, my culture. It tells me that my achievements will be empty if I forget the people and the values that helped me get there. Tinuod siya, no? So, this salawikain guides me to stay grounded. It reminds me to honor my beginnings and to use everything I have learned to build a better future. So, dili jud nato kanang kalimtan, di ba? Ug diin ta nagikan kay di ta maabot sa atong gikuan ron if wala ta nagikan sa atoang past or atong history. So always remember where we came from. So as a future educator, my Filipino identity becomes my strength. Pagpapahalaga sa pamilya inspires me to treat my students like family with care, respect, and encouragement. Unsa ko pagpangga sa akong pamilya, mausad ang akong kuan sa akong future students pod. Mao akong ihatag nila. Mao akong ipa-experience pod nila. Next is pakikipagkapwa. Tao reminds me to listen deeply to understand that every student has a story and create has a story. So, need you nato nga mukuan sa mga bata. So, and kanang asa na, pakipagbayanihan. So, pwede rin mag-create ko kanang classroom where kanang free ra sila. Bayanihan motivates me to work with my students, not above them, to build a learning environment where collaboration, teamwork, and support are practiced every day. And the salawikain I mentioned earlier will guide me as a teacher. I want to help my students remember their roots, their culture, their values, their identity, because these are their anchors as they step into the world. I believe that education is not just about academics. It is about shaping character, forming identity, and empowering the next generation of Filipinos. So, so as I end this talk, I want to leave you with a challenge. never for never forget who you are and where you came from. So remember that. No, never forget who you are and where you came from. Carry your identity with pride. Let your values guide you. Guide Let your values guide your decisions. And when life becomes difficult, remember that being Filipino means being resilient, compassionate, and full of hope. To my future students, and even to everyone listening, use your Filipino identity not as limitation but a source of strength, because when you are when you embrace who you are, you can inspire others to do the same. Maraming salamat and mabuhay tayong lahat. Thank you.